a good spring. I'm glad you were able to get it in this year.
No question. You never realize how much you miss spring ball until you don't get one. And we were excited to be able to get our 15 practices. Wrapped it up with a great spring game, and just excited about the progression of our program, and definitely looking forward to the summer and obviously the fall that's upcoming.
Coach, you have some decisions to make, and we won't go through every position group, but two to highlight. Obviously the quarterbacks, and Mackenzie Milton coming over. Give us an idea what he has looked like in your first impressions of that young man, and also, if you don't mind commenting on the growth of your offensive line, something that obviously has been a conversation over in Tallahassee the last few years.
Well, I think Mackenzie coming into the program has been a great boost in a lot of different ways. One, he's an incredible young man, tremendous worker. He's got great experience. Having to overcome some real adversity. He had a devastating knee injury. You've missed a better part of the last 2 years, as he's rehabbed. But he's always brought a positive mindset. Coming into our program, he's done a remarkable job of building relationships with his teammates. Looks great out there. I think as the season or the spring progressed, you saw him building his confidence of understanding the language, the things that he's expected to do, and he just got better and better with each practice that went by. And I think it's also elevated, the play of the guys around him. You look at Jordan Travis had a remarkable spring. Tate Rodemaker, obviously development of Chuba Purdy. All those things are critical for our program. We've got a lot of competition there, and then the same with the offensive line. Last year we were extremely young. We had 3 freshmen that basically were mainstays in the starting lineup for us. But the great thing about it, 2 of those were freshman All-American, and so young, talented guys that have bright futures. And then with our veterans, they're continuing to grow and develop in all aspects of what they're doing as well. So we're still gonna have youth, but you're definitely excited about that group and what their future holds as well.
Coach, you mentioned it. You talked about the youth a little bit, and obviously, with you adding another year now to the resume in terms of building culture, like what is going to be the focus now coming from that spring and now going into the off season, coming up for training camp? What are you guys going to focus on the most here of where Florida State goes forward?
Just continuing to compete with every day, every opportunity. I think that's one of the critical factors is you've got to go improve. You have to improve in all aspects. And, I like the competition that I'm seeing. I like the development that I'm seeing physically. But, as a football team, just embracing every moment that we get, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's, out there on the practice field, and then, obviously the opportunities that we get on game day. But, I like the kids that I get to coach, and they are buying into the process and the work that's necessary that you have to invest if you want to be successful. So we're looking forward to each of those days, and as we go through the summer workouts, as we jump into fall camp, and then you'll be able to kick it off this fall. It's just the continued development and buying into that process there together, and that's going to be big for this football team.
The whole phrase, the transfer portal, has been seen to be like a hot button issue the past couple years of college football. Then NCAA now changes the rules in terms of transferring. I guess, how do you feel about those rules? Is it beneficial to you? Does it hurt you more? And what do you make of the landscape of college football going forward now?
Well, I think it's provided young men to explore their options and look at the situation that they're in. And this year we were able to add 7 transfers in January with the spring semester. That was something that was important. As we looked at our football team, as we're coming off a year where we're the youngest team in college in all of college football, and we wanted to be able to gain some experience. Obviously, we were able to get some great productive players, but they were all the right fit for Florida State. Tremendous young men that great leadership abilities, but also guys that embrace the relationship aspect of what we're doing. And for us, it was great having them here through the spring. You got to see them gel with their teammates, and I'm excited about that group and how they're going to be able to impact our team. And but with the transfer portal, that also it provides opportunities for guys to explore other options and maybe look outside of the program. And at the end of the day, we believe in how we develop each and every one of our young men, and I think we provide a great opportunity for them, whether they're a freshman to a senior, just a path to improve. through their experience here at Florida State, which not only is going to impact them on and off the field.
Florida State head coach Mike Norvell with us here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. ESPN 690, your home for Florida State football and basketball here in Jacksonville. NFL Draft Week, Coach, it's a big one, as you could probably feel it in our voices and everywhere in Jacksonville, all across even the state to Tallahassee as well. Marvin Wilson is a cool young man, but his stock has really dropped if you look at mock drafts and experts and what they're saying. Why is that, and why do I feel like somebody's going to get one heck of a steal in this upcoming draft?
Marvin is a great young man. He, this past year, dealing with, an injury that really cost him the back half of the season. But he's done a great job of working hard in his rehab, and look good at his pro day. And it's one of those things that the main thing about the NFL draft is going to the best fit for each one of these young men. And you find a team that you sees that value and sees the opportunity of what you can bring to the organization, and then go capitalize on the opportunity that they get. And I know that's been the biggest focus for all of our guys that have been working out, and preparing, pretty much their entire lives for this moment, this weekend that's upcoming. And I'm excited for them and look forward to seeing where their new home's going to be.
Coach, with the NFL Combine being canceled this year, it was a little different in terms of how players evaluate their talent, post-season after college football. These pro days, there was a big, there's a big intrigue on these pro days, let's just say. From your perspective, having gone through, I'm sure, a bunch of pro days yourself, being a head coach, what was it a lot different than what you were accustomed to? Just like, was there a lot more demands, obviously, from teams wanting to see these guys and what they kind of took part in, just because there was no combine to evaluate the talent? All they had to go off of was that pro day?
Well, we tried to keep it, pretty much across college pro days, and we try to keep it as uniform as possible. I mean, that's one thing that when you have a combine, all these guys have the opportunity to go out there and do the same drills and stack themselves up against others that are in that same position. But for us, we wanted to provide our guys the best path to showcasing what they could do, and I thought they performed really well, but they also prepared extremely well since the season's ended, so that they could come out there and really give a glimpse to these NFL scouts and personnel, who they are and what they're all about. And it was definitely unique, but put a lot of emphasis on that day, and I thought our guys made the most of it.
Florida State head coach Mike Norvell with us on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 here in Jacksonville. Coach, I've got good news for you. You don't have to see Trevor Lawrence anymore in the ACC. We've got good news for us. He's coming to Jacksonville. As a football coach, and I know you didn't see him up close last year, but what's your take on him? They're talking about this guy as a prospect that we haven't seen in years. What have you seen from him, whether it's from afar or what you know about him? Get some Jacksonville fans excited about Trevor Lawrence, will you?
Well, I mean, I think you look at the career that he's had, and he's always found success. He seems to be a great young man. Obviously don't know him personally, but all things that you've seen and the way that he's played the game throughout his career, he made the most of it, and was very impactful on the football field, but also seems to have great relationships and all the talent in the world. So I'm sure that he'll have a very successful NFL career, but I think he's definitely earned that throughout his growth and development.
No doubt about it. Let's wrap up with head coach Mike Norvell. You guys have youth clinics that you're doing throughout the state of Florida. You'll be in Jacksonville on May 11th, where kids from 2nd to 8th grade can sign up for the free youth camps. I asked some folks over in Tallahassee in your sports information department, is this a new thing? Who came up with the idea? What do you hope to accomplish with these camps all over the state?
Well, it's definitely something new. I mean, this year with the dead period, going on all the way till June 1st, it provided an opportunity for our staff to get on the road and go do these youth clinics, and it's something that was important to me. It's been a hard year for everyone, and our state's youth. I mean, the things that they've had to sacrifice. It's unfortunate, but we felt like with as a staff that this is an opportunity for us to go and get into the communities. It has to be second grade to eighth grade, to keep from any of the recruiting dead period. But it was still an opportunity to go and let these kids come out and have fun, get a chance to work on their skills, to kind of see the Seminole way, in their community. And we just wanted to maximize the time and the opportunity that we have is to be able to show our support and really to be a service for our state's youth.
Coach, real quick, and the reason why I love playing the game of football is because it truly is a family. And playing that college football, it doesn't matter how many years you're out, like you can still go back and you still feel part of that family. Obviously, Seminole Nation lost a big one in Geno Hayes, a guy that, I played with a little bit in Jacksonville here. I guess just, what were your thoughts about Geno? Did you ever interact with him at all? I mean, I know he was, he had that Florida State pride and always went to go watch the spring games and things like that. Did you have a few words to say about him?
Yeah, Geno is a tremendous Seminole, and the success that he had, on the field was one thing, but the impact that he made off of it was just incredible, and a great man. It is. It's heartbreaking just with his passing. The thoughts and prayers with his family and all of his friends, and everybody that had the pleasure of being around Geno and just throughout his life. But he is a legacy that's going to live on, and because of who he was and what he was about. Definitely a great Seminole.
Yeah, he was a real bright light in locker rooms from Florida State, Tallahassee, to here in Jacksonville, the Bucs, Chicago, in his playing career. Mike Norvell, appreciate you taking the time. We'll see you in a couple of weeks up here in Jacksonville for the Youth Clinic.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys, and go Noles.
You bet. That's Mike Norvell, the Florida State head coach, trying to build some momentum now in year number 2 into this offseason, into the summer, and into year 2. And really interesting at the quarterback spot. We'll visit with Coach Norvell, hopefully, as we get closer to the season and what they decide to do there and how his football team is shaping up. But, hey, I think he's the right guy for the job. I've said that before. I know last year was a struggle, but I think Mike Norvell is going to do some good things in Tallahassee.